Mr. Jiten Payan, Secretary General, Guwahati High Court Bar Association, Mr. P.C. Deka, President, Guwahati High Court Advocates Association, Mr. P.D. Nair, Vice Chairman of Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, Dr. Ramesh Chand Borapati Gohai, Advocate General, Assam, Mr. Niloy Dutt, Advocate General, Arunachal Pradesh, Mr. A.D. Chaudhary, Additional Advocate General, Mizoram, Mr. T.J. Mahanta, Standing Counsel, Guwahati High Court, Mr. R.K. Dev Chaudhary, Assistant Solicitor General of India, Mr. M.K.G., Additional Senior Government Advocate, Nagaland, members of the legal fraternity, members of the registry, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and Dr. Baronari Buhan, Utsav and Indrajit. Today, we have assembled here to bid farewell to Justice Monojit Bhuyan, who is going to lay down office on his superannuation on 4th February 2021, which is today. My association with Justice Bhuyan is less than a month old, so I may not claim any personal bonding with Justice Bhuyan as yet. But I must say that even in this short duration, I have been able to see and appreciate the qualities of Justice Bhuyan. He has always been frank and honest, even upfront, in his advice. I have always received his honest, frank and detached opinions when I sought one. I could appreciate that he has a burning passion for the welfare of this institution and the institutions which are under the supervision of the High Court. Justice Bhuyan, due to his perfect court etiquettes and pleasant nature, has always been popular with the bar, as well as popular with his brother and sister judges in the bench. Brother Bhuyan, I can enter your feelings, and I know exactly how you are feeling at this very moment. It is a very emotional moment. I know this because very recently, less than a month back, I was given a farewell in Uttarakhand High Court, and I know how difficult it was for me to speak at that time. Justice Bhuyan obtained bachelor's degree with honors in English literature from Cotton College, Guwahati in the year 1978. Later, he completed his master's in English from Guwahati University. After a brief spell as a civil servant with the government of Assam and then as a lecturer in English at DK College, Mirza, he obtained LLB degree in the year 1987, and in the very same year enrolled himself with the Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. He was designated as Senior Advocate on 4th of August 2014. He practiced on the constitutional, civil, criminal and service side and had represented institutions like Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, NABARD, besides many others. During his tenure as an advocate, he has shown a constant effort to gain further knowledge and experience, and for that, he attended a host of seminars and legal workshops organized by the National Legal Service Authority and the Indian Law Institute. He is also a trained mediator, having undergone the required 40 hours training under the supervision of Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee of the Supreme Court of India. Justice Bhuyan was appointed an additional judge of the Guwahati High Court in January 2015 and a permanent judge of the Guwahati High Court on 3rd January 2017. Justice Bhuyan is also the editor of Atman, which is a biannual news bulletin of the Guwahati High Court. It's always a pleasure to be in the cheerful companionship of Justice Bhuyan. We will all miss his wisecracks and jokes. I have also been told in course of time, and I came to know, that Justice Bhuyan has given judgments in a variety of branches of law. I have noticed a neat expression and clarity of thought in his judgments, which are the hallmark of a good judicial opinion. Justice Bhuyan's proficiency in writing and command over the English language and literature is clearly reflected in his opinions as well as in his editorials in the Atman. Justice Bhuyan has always been heading one of the most important jurisdiction as a judge of this High Court, that is the one which deals with foreigners matters. But for paucity of time, I may mention only a few of his important judgments. The first is his opinion given by him in Gitali Dole versus State of Assam, where it was held that by upholding the orders of the discharge of 49 officers who were disqualified in the competitive examination conducted by the Assam Public Service Commission by using unfair means, there Justice Bhuyan had observed, quote, judicial conscience must support the righteous cause. Grant of any relief to the petitioners in the opinion would only act as anathema to the righteous cause. While hearing in the bench dealing with the foreigners issue, he has laid down that proof beyond reasonable doubt is not needed in proceedings before a foreigner's tribunal for establishing citizenship, and that proceedings before one foreigner's tribunal cannot be transferred to another tribunal in exercise of powers under Article 226 and 227 of the Constitution of India. Latest among the judgment delivered by Justice Bhuyan just 2 days back is Pune Day and Another versus State of Assam and others, where the law has been interpreted that there is no legal embargo forbidding the Assam State Transport Corporation to venture into the activity of operating an authorized testing station for the purposes of issuance of renewal of fitness certificate to a transport vehicle. Justice Bhuyan fully deserved the praise showered upon him by the learned members of the bar. Indeed, Guwahati High Court will be deprived of the valuable services of a seasoned judge. I am sure my colleagues on the bench would agree with me that we are all going to miss Justice Bhuyan in weeks and months ahead. In any case, we shall continue to seek Justice Bhuyan's advice in future for the betterment of institution to which we all belong. I am told that Justice Bhuyan will be going as the chairperson of the Real Estate Appellate Tribunal Assam at Guwahati soon after his retirement. I wish Justice Bhuyan all the success for his new assignment. I, on my own behalf and on behalf of my esteemed colleagues of the bench, wish Justice Bhuyan, Mrs. Bhuyan and all members of the family a good, healthy, successful and pleasant and long life. I may only add that Justice Bhuyan, you should not take this as your retirement. It is only doing the same job differently, as you will continue to do judicial work in the tribunal, and most of all, you will never retire from our minds. Thank you.
May we now have the honor of and invite my Honorable Mr. Justice Manojit Bhuyan.
Honorable the Chief Justice, brother, sister judges, Mr. Jikan Pai, President Guwahati High Court Association, Mr. P.C. Deka, President Guwahati High Court Advocates Association, Mr. P.D. Nair, Vice Chairman of Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, Dr. R.C. Borpatro Kohai, Advocate General Assam, Mr. Nilay Datta, Advocate General Arunachal Pradesh, Mr. Arun Dev Chaudhary, Additional Advocate General Mizoram, Mr. Tanma Jyoti Mahanta, Standing Counsel, Guwahati High Court, Mr. Ranjit Kumar Dev Chaudhary, Assistant Solicitor General of India, and M. Kechi, Additional Senior Government Advocate, Nagaland. I am most grateful and feel honored for the kind and generous words spoken about me. At the outset, I pay obeisance to my father, late Niron Bhuiyan, and my mother, late Parul Bhuiyan, both having left me quite early in life, but they gave me the greatest and the most precious gift that I could ever ask for: good education, which opened my window to the world. I also pay my obeisance to my father-in-law, late Surendra Mohan Chaudhary, who introduced me to the discipline of law, and to the noble soul, late Amrit Kumar Phukan Bronpuda, who was my senior, a philanthropist, who guided me to become the law student that I am today. I am the first generation lawyer in the family. I am also one of those fortunate few to have seen the best of both worlds in my professional career, spanning 27 years as a lawyer, 6 years as a judge. The entire journey was not a bed of roses. Every single day, both as a lawyer and more particularly as a judge, has been a challenge and a test of grit and perseverance, but I made it through. Today, as I stand on the threshold of laying down office, my heart swells with pride with the knowledge that I have been an integral part of this hallowed institution. Like the phenomenon that even after the snapping of the umbilical cord, the bond between the mother and the child never ever separates, my physical exit from this august office will not snap nor weaken my love, respect, and devotion I have for this institution. My unconditional commitment to the welfare of this court remains steadfast. My heart and soul are entwined to this temple of justice, and I will live and breathe to witness more laurels are showered upon this court, to watch my brothers and sisters in the bench going up the ladder of becoming, and to watch my brothers and sisters in the bar achieving their cherished dreams. I do have the satisfaction of having discharged my duties to the solemn oath I have taken. In my journey as a lawyer and then as a judge, I received unstinted support, guidance, love, and affection from the members of the bar and from my colleagues in the bench. I have always believed that bench-bar relations is not merely an expression in the English language. It has a sacrosanct connotation and meaning. Judges and lawyers are the two most important stakeholders responsible for the growth of a strong judiciary. The home is the courtroom, where there should be free flow of scholarly interaction, mutual respect, upholding of the dignity and decorum of the court, and to leave no stone unturned for furthering the administration of justice. Friends in the bar, you now have a Chief Justice with an exceedingly caring heart. My acquaintance with the Chief Justice has been brief, but in those brief moments, I was always visited by the feeling that here is a gentleman who exudes goodness none can ignore. And how do I describe my colleagues in the bench? Each of them is a remarkable human being, least demanding, most caring. Having shared the division bench with all of them at least once or over many sessions, I fondly remember the time spent in the courtroom searching for answers together. Seriousness often interspersed with humor, proceedings stayed lively, and energy was sufficiently retained to deliver orders and judgments by the end of the day. I will treasure those moments. I extend my wholehearted thanks to the senior advocates and to the young members of the bar. If I have been tough on certain occasions, believe me that it was only with the best intention. Nonetheless, I sincerely apologize for the same. To the young lawyers, let me tell you about an important code craft which would immensely help you in the career. When you are assigned the task to mention a matter at 10:30 in the morning for an adjournment, come little prepared with the facts of the case so that you are in a position to answer the basic queries that may be flung at you by the court. This is important because all judges do their homework and work overtime in preparation of the cases listed the next day. Bag full of case files reach the judges every evening, and after spending endless time and energy going through the files, if mention for adjournment is made without advance intimation, something little may snap in the head. It did to mine at least. This is the time you can expect the court to ask you what the case is all about, what is the nature of the order put to challenge, etc., etc. A satisfying answer from you, from your end, will put you a notch higher in the eyes of the court. A disappointing answer may only generate a reverse effect. I thank the registry of this court, led by the Registrar General and the entire support staff of the High Court, for their unflinching support, love and respect shown to me. I also thank from the bottom of my heart my private secretaries who has rendered invaluable services over the last 6 years. Thank you, Binoy Chakraborty, Kuntal Datta, Kishore Krishna Kalita, Jiten Pator, Horen Kolita, Hamidul Haq, Dilip Kumar Sharma, and Arati Mara. A very special mention is made to Justice Abhay Manohar Sapre, Judge, retired Supreme Court of India, who introduced me to the bench. Justice Ajit Singh, Chief Justice retired of this court. My very dear and respected Justice Rishikesh Roy, Judge of Supreme Court of India, and Justice Arup Kumar Goswami, Chief Justice High Court of Telangana, all of whom has been a great influence in my life. All other things may change, but we start and end with the family. I am forever beholden to my wife, Varnali, who has been my strength from the day we met. My two sons, Utsav and Indrajit, are the apple of my eyes. They are good-natured and most understanding boys. I love you all and promise fun days ahead. I will not pretend, but bidding goodbye is a sad feeling. Till the other day, the expression parting is painful were mere words to me. I understand and feel the great meaning attached to it. Once again, I thank the senior and young members of the bar. My deep respects to the Honorable Chief Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia, Justice N. Kuteshwar Singh, Justice Manas Ranjan Pathak, Justice Michael Jothan Kumar, Justice Suman Sham, Justice Rumi Kumari Pukan, Justice Somkup Chung Sarto, Justice Achinta Malla Vijay Gorua, Justice Kalyan Rai Surana, Justice Prasanta Kumar Deka, Justice Nelson Silo, Justice Ajit Bhattapur, Justice Hitesh Kumar Sharma, Justice Mir Alfaz Ali, Justice Sanjay Kumar Meji, Justice Nani Takia, Justice Manish Chaudhary, Justice Sumitra Saikia, Justice Parthiv Beauty Saikia, and Justice S. Hukapusu. I will once again take a name of that person with whom I have shared tiffin on endless days, shared thoughts on countless evenings, a person whom I hold very dear to my heart, who has been, is, and will always remain more than a younger brother to me. God bless you, Justice Suman Shah. God bless you. To everything, there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to be sad and a time to dance, a time to break down and a time to build up. Now it is time for me to move on. Thank you. Jai Hind.
With the permission of your lordships, the farewell address may now be closed.